Ma'am, we will start in 1 minute. Your
The other speakers are joining in?
Yep, ma'am. Ajmani ma'am and Priya ma'am will join soon.
Okay, yeah. And Fayaz sir?
Joining within a minute, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Let's start, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. A very good afternoon. I hope the weather is nice. In other parts of the world, at the moment in India, it's pretty hot. But welcoming all of you on this beautiful day and on this education seminar, the International Education Talk. What I would like to say when we talk about education, education is limitless. Education is something, it's not a preparation for life, it is life itself, because it gives us the door to freedom. And today we have amongst us speakers from all over the world who are going to motivate us, enlighten us, and to actually describe how far education has reached the masses, how well it has done it, and how much we need to still understand as to bring about changes in education. So we all welcome you on this International Education Talk Season 5 on the 28th of August, Sunday. And I hope we carry back a lot of learning from this talk, because this is going to have various topics starting from blended learning, etc., to various aspects. So I would like to start with our first speaker for today, our guest of honor, Ms. Evangelia Vasiko, global educator, international speaker from Greece. And her topic for today is professional training for market readiness of students. But before ma'am speaks, I would like to just introduce her to all of you. Evangelia ma'am has a BA in philosophy and American College of Greece, and MA in applied linguistics from the Hellenic American University with high distinction. She's currently studying for a PhD in language and communication. She's an experienced English teacher for academic purposes, English for specific purposes, and English as a foreign language instructor with an expertise of teaching EFL exam classes for more than 20 years. She has been presented with numerous awards. She has also presented her talks in various conferences in Greece, Cyprus, Malta, Bulgaria, Spain, and international e-conferences in Indonesia, India, Turkey, and Pakistan. She has authorized various articles for the ELT News, TESOL Greece, ELT Weekly Newsletter, and the Scientific Journal of Applied Sciences and Linguistics. She's also the Vedanta International Advisor and President of IAAR Europe. She has been awarded with numerous awards, for example, the Distinguished Educator 2020 by the Education Leaders Award, the CWDE Viz Award by CWSIR, Education Excellence Award 2021 by ESN Publication, the Outstanding Achievement by Cape Comorin Awards, to name a few, an honorary doctorate in education, leadership by the Global Storm Safety Foundation, and another in development and peace by the International Diplomatic Organization for Development and Peace. These are just few of her achievements. We warmly welcome you, Evangelia ma'am, to present the talk for today, and that is the continuous development theories for educators. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Warm greetings from Greece. Thank you very much also for your invitation. I feel privileged and honored. Let me share my screen so that I can share with you the presentation.
You come from a beautiful country, ma'am. I would like to visit one day.
Thank you very much. You're all welcome. Your country is very beautiful as well, and I hope that I will visit it in the future. Due to the COVID-19 era, it was impossible for me, but I hope in the future that I will be in the position to do so.
Yes.
Okay, let me start. Let me start with some key concepts. You can all see here keywords like leading and teaching and skills, leadership, mentorship. So, and I would like to continue with some pictures.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me start with some key concepts. You can all see here keywords like leading and teaching and skills, leadership, mentorship. So, and I would like to continue with some pictures.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me some time, please, because I don't think so that sharing the slides functions well. So I guess I would have to use my mouse pad. Yes, okay. So apart from the key concepts, you can also see here some pictures that will give you a better idea of what we're going to talk today. We can see some teachers and adults gathered together, talking, showing and sharing. More pictures for you. So all these focus on the idea of professional development. In other words, we're going to talk about continuous professional development models of teachers in the academic education. And to be more specific, I would like to start with the definition of what continuous professional development is. First of all, it is a process by which, alone or with others, teachers review, renew, and extend their commitment as change agents to the moral purpose of teaching. They acquire and develop critically the knowledge, the skills, and the emotional intelligence that is essential to good professional thinking, planning, and practice with children, young people, and colleagues throughout each phase of their teaching lives. There are some big questions that I have put forward. One of these is that most people think that holding an MA degree or a PhD degree is enough in order to be called an experienced teacher, educator, instructor, even at higher level learning levels. But is this enough? Is this what we all need in order to think that we have the validation? Well, the starting point is to improve the higher educational system. The overarching goal is to support the teachers. And we should think that there has been some learning loss accumulated during the pandemic era. So we shouldn't only focus on the student learning, but also on the teachers' learning. Teacher training is very essential as the education sector's top COVID priority. It should be seen that there has been a lot of change around, and technology alone cannot drive the systemic change in the education field. The teachers need to be trained during this educational crisis, and the teachers require upskilling. There are pressures towards a marriage of technology and teacher training. So that's why today I would like to address the spectrum of the CPD models. Comparative, it's going to be a comparative review. Here, diagrammatically speaking, you have a diagrammatic representation of the 9 key individual models. Let me name them: the training model, the cascade model, community of practice, award-bearing, standards-based, action research, deficit model, coaching and mentoring model, and transformative model.
Do you want to know why?
There is some background noise, thank you. So this is, according to Kennedy 2005, the main individual models. Let me start with the first one, the training model. Of course, I'm not going to delve deeply into all the details of the models. I'm just going to give you some basic description of what each model dictates. So the first one, the training model, supports a skills-based technocratic view of teaching. It gives the teachers the opportunity to update their skills in order to demonstrate their competence levels. It is delivered to the teacher by an expert, and the agenda is determined by the deliverer, and the participant is placed in a passive role. The training model of CPD is compatible with a standards-based view of teacher development. In other words, the standardization, where teachers strive to demonstrate the particular skills that are specified. In a nutshell, the main idea you should keep here is the idea of being an expert. The award-bearing model, the second one, incorporates the meaning of to bear in the sense of to support. An award-bearing model of CPD is one that relies on the completion of award-bearing programs of study, typically that is validated by universities. Chartered teacher status in teacher certification programs aligned with the university aims in order to raise the status of the profession and support the teachers to acquire all the required expertise for teaching excellence. This status has been the subject of debate, of course, over the emphasis on professional as opposed to academic routes or it is called like anti-intellectualism, due to the emphasis on the practice-based element of teaching instead of academic and intellectual autonomy. But the main idea is the idea of validation. The third one, the deficit model, attempts to remedy perceived weakness in individual teachers. According to research, the root causes of poor teacher performance are related not only to individual teachers, but also to organizational and management practices. So the blame is not to attribute blame actually to individual teachers, but to rectify weaknesses. And it is a model whereby collective responsibility is not considered. In other words, the main idea here is weaknesses, to remedy the weaknesses. The next model is the cascade model. It involves individual teachers attending training events and cascading or disseminating the information to their colleagues. It is employed in situations where the resources are limited. It is based on sharing the personal and successful learning with colleagues. But of course, one of the drawbacks of the model is that what is passed on in the cascading process is skill-focused or knowledge-focused and rarely focuses on values. It supports, in other words, a technicist view of teaching where skills and knowledge are given priority over the attitudes and values. It neglects the range of the learning contexts in which knowledge is gained. So sharing knowledge is the main idea behind the rationale behind this model. Another one is the standards-based model. The focus is on the linguistic terms standards as opposed to competencies. The emphasis is on the professional actions, which are seen as a way of showing that the standard has been met. So the emphasis is on evidence-based. Demonstrable practice is seen as competence-based. There are, of course, some limits. It limits the opportunities for alternative forms of CPD because it relies heavily on a behaviorist perspective of learning. Critics of this model argue that the standards indicate a lack of respect for teachers' own capacities for reflective critical inquiry, because the teacher education must be infused with a kind of critical scrutiny about social purposes, future possibilities, economic realities, and moral directions. So the main idea is the idea of standards and standardization. The coaching and mentoring model prioritizes a one-to-one relationship that focuses on confidentiality as opposed to accountability, where the purpose is dual, support and assessment. So both coaching and mentoring share this characteristic, but coaching is more skills-based and mentoring involves an element of counseling and professional friendship. Therefore, this model can be placed within a transformative conception of CPD involving the essential quality of interpersonal relationships. So the idea here is support. Moving on, another model is the community practice model. There is a clear relationship between communities of practice and the mutually supportive coaching and mentoring model. The difference lies in the fact that a community of practice involves more than two people and would not necessarily rely on confidentiality. It is based on a social theory of learning, recognizing that learning within a community of practice happens as a repercussion of that community and its interactions, and not as a result of planned learning episodes such as courses organized. There is an added value of learning in communities. So the main idea is community. Moving on, the action research model has been defined as the study of a social situation involving the participants themselves as researchers, with a view to improving the quality of action within it. Collaborative action research provides an alternative to the passive role that is imposed on teachers in traditional models of just professional development, given that research is a process. It's not something static, as opposed to a product of someone else's endeavors. So there is a shifting from the balance of power towards teachers, and it has significant capacity for transformative practice and professional autonomy. So the main idea is action research. And the last one, the transformative model, it couldn't be a clearly definable model in itself per se, but it involves the combination of several processes and conditions. It takes aspects drawn from all the other models previously outlined. It's somehow a synthesis, having a synergistic value. It appears to provide an antidote to the restrictive nature of the standards, accountability, and performance management agenda, and could be categorized as a post-structuralist approach to CPT. I would like to give you an overview of these three broad categories. We talked about the models of CPT. You can see their classification on the left, and on the right, the purpose of the models. So the main purposes is transmission, transitional, and transformative. And there is an arrow going downwards or upwards. It depends on the way you want to see the increasing capacity for professional autonomy. Now you're going to ask me, what are the tools for the analysis of the models? How can a teacher and educator design an effective CPT framework after our discussion of these models? These are basic questions for educators to ask in a reflective level of mind, state of mind. What types of knowledge acquisition does the CPT support? Would you like to support a procedural level framework? Is the principal focus on individual or collective development? To what extent is the CPT used as a form of accountability? What capacity does the CPT allow for supporting professional autonomy? And the last one, is the fundamental purpose of the CPT to provide the means of transmission or to facilitate transformative practice? What is the aim? I would also like to give you a very, very brief description of what research has shown so far. And here you can see research dating back to 2019. And it has to do with the continuous professional development of teachers. It's a case of public universities in Pakistan. And this is the Bulletin of Education and Research, published in the Bulletin of Education and Research. The results briefly showed that the teachers were engaged in all the 15 professional development activities in the questionnaire of the study. They were very focused on research papers, reviewing articles for journals, developing teaching and learning materials, and there was no significant difference in male and female teachers' opinions about their involvement in CPT activities. They were all united, they all had a consensus. This is just a screenshot to have a main idea of the university teachers' engagement in the activities. You can see the teachers' opinions about the importance of professional development activities. I'm going to pause for a while just for you to see. And towards the end of my presentation, there is some background noise as well. Yes, thank you. So I would like to end with some comments about the online education. Briefly speaking, the skills and competencies are classified into 6 categories: the pedagogical skills, the content skills, the design skills, technological skills, management and institutional skills, social and communication skills. Of course, for time restrictions, I'm not allowed to give you in details what the pedagogical skills area entails, but I'm going to focus on just one of these. The first one, for example, for pedagogical skills refers to the learning theories, the learning styles, the adult learning theory, the learner-centered approach, and the collaborative learning. The content skills entails expressing and mastering extensive knowledge of the content, sharing learning, stating learning goals and objectives. Design skills has to do with the organizing and presenting the learning materials in different formats. Technological skills is accessing the various technological resources and tools, such as email, internet browsers, text and video chat applications, and productivity software and applications, understanding all the teaching capabilities and all the repertoire, the technological repertoire that we can be given. Management and institutional skills has to do with the ability to clarify the roles and the expectations of the instructor and the learners. And social and communication skills, a much broader area here, has to do with facilitating and maintaining interactive discussion and information exchange, just to name a few. And towards the end of my presentation, I couldn't finish without explaining that there are also certain dilemmas, certain concerns. How much CPD is adequate? Just need to be able to answer yes to these questions. And the questions are as follows. Have you undertaken professional development activities this year? Have you reflected on the learning you have gained from these activities? Have the activities and the reflection made a difference to how you teach or how you train other teachers? Can you show evidence of this difference and the impact it has made to learners, colleagues, or the organization in which you work? Because the impact is what we teach. It is measurable. Some pieces of advice is that there is a way to track your CPD level. There are some online diaries for self-assessment. The example here given is the CPA Australia CPD diary. The link is below for those who are interested. So step one is by clicking on the link to add a new activity, put the general details in the boxes. And step two is to enter the details about the activity. Then there is access to track your CPD level so that you can somehow measure your development and feel satisfied or even dissatisfied. That depends on your estimation. So it could give you the chance to measure somehow your progress, and this is very important. So we need to finish with these words of Aristotle that we are what we frequently do, and that learning never ends. These are my references. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for a beautiful motivational talk. What I found very thorough in your talk was that you did not just limit yourself to talking about education in a very brief format. You covered such a plethora of events. You covered the pedagogical skills, you covered about technology and how you're going to merge technology with your skills. Now, it's very important for us to understand that today's world cannot exist without technology. But at the end of the day, it is the teacher who is most important. So it has to be a balance of both. So for us as educators, we need to always upscale ourselves. As you readily pointed out in the beginning, that we need to upscale our skills, because otherwise children today know much more than us. So we need to be trained. We need to understand their needs, which are changing with times. So we are very, very thankful for that, ma'am. It was beautiful. It was such a clear understanding. So from the International Education Talk and from Education World, we'd like to honor you with a certificate and a very big thank you. And this is presented to you for your phenomenal and worthy presentation. And this is just what we're going to carry with us for a very, very long time. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. My pleasure. Before we start the next part of our program, that's a video presentation, I would just like to tell all the speakers today that this particular session of the International Education Talk Season 5 is being recorded, and it will be presented on a YouTube in a compacted form. And the link will be sent to you as soon as the presentation is ready to be sent on the YouTube. So you can view all this whole presentation on the YouTube also. So thank you very much. On this note, we'll now start for the next part of our program, which is a beautiful motivational talk by Steve Harvey on what exactly is motivation and why do we need it in society today. We'd all like to hear that. Thank you so much.
Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. The elevator don't go to the top, man. Not in the world of success. You have control of this. This belongs to you. This is yours. You're the captain. You're the master. You're the foreman. You're the general. You're the head. Don't give control of this to nobody. Get off of Instagram and Snap. And get off all these blogs and get into something that can really, really move your life forward. Listen, getting successful, it's not a magic trick. You can decide to be rich. It's highly doable. But you first have to think it. The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here. I'm no better than none of y'all. If you want to be successful, you have to change this. This has to change. Listen to me. It's not what makes it hard is your lack of belief that it can happen for you. The fact of it is, though, it's very doable. See, but you got to change. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So if you're at a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter what your children think. It don't matter. They have nothing to do with it. This decision is yours and yours alone. Let me tell you something. You get to decide if I'm gonna be rich, poor, mediocre, plentiful, happy, sad. You have a decision to make. It's really not important what the majority of people that are blogging are saying. As a matter of fact, bloggers are not relevant people, they're not shakers and movers, and they're not decision makers, and they're not power brokers. So when you spend so much time in the blog world, the Instagram world, the chat world, all of this, you're wasting valuable time. If I was young and I had what you have, and you're the brightest group of young people that have come along in a long time, man. Millennials are absolutely brilliant because you all have technology. I had no technology growing up, nothing. You couldn't download a book. You had to go to the library, go to the card catalog, pull it open, find the book, find the number, go get on the elevator, go to the row, find the number book, get the book, and hope somebody ain't told a page out that you want to read. That's what it used to be. When my mom and them finally got the money together to help us educate ourselves, they bought an encyclopedia set, Britannica, Funk and Wagner, and everything you wanted to know was in that encyclopedia, and that's all you can know. If you want to look up something about elephant, and they had 2 pages on elephants, that was what your knew about an elephant. Y'all got Google. You can Google anything. You all have stuff at your fingertips that can make you great. But if you could combine your technology with your parents and your grandparents' work ethic, your could be rich. You could be rich, man. But you cannot erase the work ethic part. There is no getting around. Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. The elevator don't go to the top, man. Not in the world of success. You got to take the stairs. Y'all got to start getting gritty, man. I hate it when I see young people wasting their time, wasting all this technology got, just bull. Just sitting around in this world that's been created for you, that everything is instant. I was arguing with my son the other day. We're having a debate. I thought, man, I'm finally sitting with one of my sons having a healthy debate. I told him that from Cleveland to Nashville was about 540 miles, something like that. He Googles it while we're talking. He said, no, Dad, you're wrong. It's 526 miles. I said 540. It's amazing, man, how you rely on technology and it's a help to you. But young people, you gotta get gritty, man. You gotta develop some dog in you. You gotta understand that success, you can't Google success. Go Google it. You can't Google it, man. I got something else for you. Because I've lived so long and I've been exposed to so many things. I've seen stuff hopefully you'll never see. And I've seen some things I hope one day you do see. But go Google exposure. It ain't gonna take you nowhere. I've been around the world, man, because I've traveled it. But I traveled it because I've made myself uncomfortable. I have a life of convenience now. But in order to get the life of convenience, you got to have a very uncomfortable life. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Stop trying to do everything the short way. Stop trying to figure out the easy way, because the ain't gonna happen. I got news for you, man. It's not happening, young people. You got to get messed up sometime. You got to get dirty. You got to get your feelings hurt. You got to get disappointed. You got to get told no. You're going to ask somebody for some money. He going to tell you no. But at least then, when I see somebody trying and I tell them no, I try to at least give them something else. See, I'm not going to hand you a fish sandwich. I'll teach you how to fish. But I'm not giving you a fish sandwich. You can forget that. Once you get this, y'all, you can change everything. Do you understand? Negativity, you can protect yourself from negativity. And that's what stops most people, negative thoughts. You can coat your mind from negativity. It's a real simple exercise to do. I do it every morning before I walk out the door. So I walk out as a positive person. You know, I get tired sometimes. That's different from being negative, because I get mentally drained from my job at times. But to coat your mind from negativity, the way you can put a coating around your mind is with one simple thing: gratitude. Gratitude erases negativity. I'm gonna show you how this works. If you wake up in the morning, you start having negative thoughts, man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm tripping, I just don't feel myself. Every time you feel, in the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, stop, just stop for a second. And start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for. Not everything you want, everything you already have, because what you have is substantial. You just haven't gone over the list and taken inventory in a long time. But the fact that you can walk, that's a blessing. The fact that you woke up, that's another blessing. The fact that you can see, think, reason, that's another blessing. The fact that you can go somewhere and get yourself something to eat, that's another blessing. The fact that you can go and turn the key and call someplace home, that's another blessing. The ability to dream is a blessing. The fact that you have an opportunity to get it right is another blessing. And I'm just talking to you, I don't even know you. I could give you 50 things you ought to be grateful for right now. I don't even know you. Start coating your mind with gratitude. It'll change everything for you.
What a beautiful video. Steve Harvey never fails to actually motivate, because he talks from the heart, and that is what makes it special, and that is what makes it relatable. So thank you so much for this video. I hope you all enjoyed the video presentation. Now we'll continue with the next part of our program, and that is the talk by the international speaker, Ms. Anju Ajmani, Principal Mascot, Public Schools, Sagar. The topic she's going to talk on today is importance of value in education. I would like to introduce ma'am, and she's been a constant motivator, and I've met her personally. And the way she talks, it makes it so easy to understand. Ms. Anju Ajmani, founder principal of Mascot Public School, Sagar, has an enormous foregoing profile in the education sector, has been traveling 28 years of whooping experience. Her area of excellence in education is to draw out the best and to give out the best. She also implements the 3 C's of her life: choices, chances, and changes. As we must make the choices that take the chance, and if we want anything in life to change, the time is now. To act is now. Change is possible. Change is continuous. We can. She's also the milestone awardee and was honored for the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award 2020, the Transformational Leadership Award 2022 for the Best Dynamic Principal of the Year. Recently, she received the Sarvottam Bharatiya Shiksha Padak Award 2022. Along with the award, she was also the International Global Speaker and many, many more. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. And now we'd like to hear you.
Thank you, Shelly ma'am, for a beautiful introduction that you have given.
Thank
Always,
you, ma'am.
it is
Thank you, ma'am.
fabulous. And today's topic is of mine is importance of valuing your education. So I feel education is the passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. So a good education makes an individual develop personally, socially, as well as economically, which helps us to do our daily life activities in the best possible ways. Education helps us to acquire new skills and knowledge that will enhance our development in life and make us beautiful. Those who approach education for building up life manifest commitment and responsibility in life. They develop a vision for life, set goals to be achieved according to a definite time schedule. It also helps to build character, opinion, and intellect, where true intellect lies within the education. To learn about different cultures, language, and how other people think as well as they live. When you get education, you are able to fulfill the basic needs in life. Now, there are many reasons why education is important. Firstly, our life should be stable. You need to be educated to get a good job so that you can be financially stable in life. Means trained in one specific field or educated in lots of different things. And we should also make a clear distinction between vision and ambition. Today, many understand materialistic and selfish ambition as vision for life. In fact, a vision for life gives an orientation to dedicate oneself for the maximum good of humanity. Now, when our life is stable, it also builds up our confidence. So, feeling good about yourself and what you know is a big confidence booster. As when child learns to parents or children, them the best way to live that can be beneficial to individuals as well as people around them, and give the students a progressive way for the future, and also helps them to know the real purpose of their life, to have a well balanced open mind. Now, when we have a well balanced open mind, we create opportunities. Many opportunities come our way. When you have solid education, you are more apt to have more opportunities in your life. Now, when you have opportunities, we have critical thinkings like time management, problem solving, creativity, reading and writing, and so on. So, education helps children to learn critical thinking skills in different ways that will stick with them for a longer time in their life. Interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills, when we have proper interpersonal skills, then they it is whether they are peers or of a variety of ages, education should teach interpersonal skills. Some of those skills are how to act towards others in society, how to hold conversations, and how to work together in different tasks. When we have interpersonal skills developed along with it, builds our character. Education helps to build character as you learn about different cultures, languages, and how other people think as well in life. The main purpose of education is to provide a vision of life. And once students formulate a vision of life, they live with focus and use their energies for productive purposes. Education for sustainable development is also one of the reasons why education is important. It incorporates key environment challenges like climate change. As the climate changes, we have into the core subject also like maths, science, art, and involves modifying the teaching learning process to a more all encouraging approach. Students thus relate what they learn in classroom to their real life actions and will be in a better position to take part or lead in changing behaviors and adapting sustainable lifestyles and can change our future also. Now, knowledge about knowledge also is one of the important reasons why we need to have education. Education doesn't include other areas such as art, history, music, etc. But the sky and beyond is the limit when it comes to education. Live a life full of learning opportunities. Open a book, teach yourself things, take classes, whether old or young, you are. Now, according to the knowledge, we have the basic needs also in life. So, as an educated person, you are able to fulfill the basic needs in life, in which you are taught to get dressed, learn self-care and practical life skills. And lastly, we come to the goals, which is the main aim, why education is very important for us. That is goals. Education helps children to learn, to set goals and to feel proud when they accomplish. So set goals which will play a key role in the successful adult life. Nelson Mandela rightly said, education is the most powerful weapon through which you can change the world. Here he spoke about both academic and also the value education, which has the power to change the world. Lastly, education is the lifelong process development of one's personality, which starts from school. It is the school that builds the base for everything. That is why school plays a significant role in providing value-based education, which aims, it means at training the students to face the outer world with the right attitude and values. In today's time, when there is a huge crisis of moral values in society, value education proves out to be the solution. Lastly, values are caught, not taught. And this is possible only when they find enough role models around them. So if we want to educate the youth in values, the best way is to make ourselves role models of what we teach. I end my topic with a saying of Swami Vivekananda, who said over 100 years ago, which should be our guideline. The purpose of education, he said, we need education which builds character, increases willpower, and expands intellect, so that a person can stand on his feet. Such as a person of character does not follow a crowd, instead stands differently on account of his principles. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Fareen and Education World, for this wonderful platform. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this beautiful motivational talk. What I found very interesting, which I'm just going to quote from one of our religious books, and that said that "Pehla sukh nirogi kaya." That means if you have a sound body, then you have a sound mind. And you put it so beautifully, because once you are taking care of yourself, then only you will be motivated to build your character, to talk about education, to develop interpersonal skills. But the first aspect is to take care of yourself. Once we've done that, then we would turn out to the real goal of education, and that is to teach everyone what is critical thinking, what is problem solving, and this is all done through interpersonal skills. You know, you have students who are excellent in writing, but they are not motivated enough to talk. And as Anju ma'am pointed out rightly, it is our duty as a teacher to make that child speak. And that is what you get back from education. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this beautiful motivational talk. And we would like to honor you from Education World for your inspiring talk. And can we have the certificate, please? And this is a certificate of recognition for being to have such a worthy presentation and to talk about education in a broader way. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. And to carry forward the program, our next speaker for the day The international speaker for the day is Mr. Firoz Akbarov, founder ETA Uzbekistan, who's going to talk on the topic teaching with or without technology, insights and implications. But before Sir goes on to talk about his topic, I would give you a brief glimpse of what Sir exactly does. Sir is a native of Uzbekistan who did his Bachelor of Arts in English Philology from Samarkand State Institute of Foreign Languages. He furthered his studies by winning a state-funded scholarship for pursuing a 2-year master course at the University of Pune, India. He's been a winner of multiple awards, both domestically and internationally. One of his most remarkable achievements was in China, when he was awarded the Best TESOL Teacher of the Year Award 2014. And he was recently awarded the Universal Leadership Award for Outstanding Global Educators by Global Education. Mr. Firoz Akbarov is a philanthropist by nature, so he's continued, committed and himself to volunteering, public engagement, both at home and abroad, physically and remotely. There are several projects to his name, such as the TED Master Virtual Speaking Club, the 20-minute talk with the founder, Zoom workshop for ESL teachers and others. He has become an international EFL instructor due to his extensive teachings abroad and his international teacher qualifications. He's one of the fewest English teachers from Uzbekistan with international C2 level, and he has been the most celebrated international Model United Nations participant. His motto in life is take the first step, and that is what is most important. We warmly welcome you, sir. Can we have your talk, please, now?
Sure, absolutely. So I'm going to take the first step. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Firoz Akbarov, an international ESL instructor, international public speaker, the founder of ETA Uzbekistan, teacher, trainer, mentor, you just name it. I have only 10 minutes at my disposal. That's such a limited, short span of time, but I'll try to make most of that limited time. And I'll walk you through all too briefly through the insights and implications of teaching with or without technology. So if you're ready, sit back and enjoy my presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take you on a journey back in time. Let's travel back in time to the millennia when people didn't have any technology and they had to resort to carving on the stones to collect massive amount of data. And later on, the invention of paper was a major breakthrough in the history of mankind, which allowed to collect information in forms of books. And paper and books still wasn't enough to propel the education to new heights. And because of which, all the way to the late 19th century, people was still teaching in a pretty rudimentary, primitive, and basic forms of methods, which was not effective at all. And let's throw some insights into what technology did specifically in the context of education. I know, speaking of the impact of education in the context, speaking of the impact of technology in the context of education, there are two key components we have to stress out. The one is enhancement, that the technology was able to enhance the already existing traditional methods of teaching. Let's recall the early use of presentations, PPTs, the integration of PPTs into the university lectures, when it was quite an eye-opener. You know, for the first time, we could see some illustrations, some GIFs, some different kind of forms of multimedia presented in the class, which was really engaging and quite intriguing. And later on, the advancement of technology allowed us to, further transform the education system. When I'm saying transform, I'm talking about previously unimaginable, previously inconceivable things, methods, approaches which have become a reality, which have become, workable and quite practical. for which we have to be thankful for the emergence of technology in the field of education. And the best example when we talk about the integration of technology into the education system, it's none other than blended learning. And we have seen what blended learning could mean in times of pandemic, global pandemic, when the majority part of education system across the globe was shut down and temporarily halted, and the world was unprepared totally. We had technology, we had the best technology at our hands, but we were not able to utilize it in the efficient and effective way to deliver the hybrid mode of teaching across the world, worldwide. A while ago, there was a motivational video played, the video by Steve Harvey, and if you remember, he said, when I was young, I didn't have technology. Like, if I were your age and if I had technology, at my disposal, I could have become probably a different person. I could have done different things. And perhaps we can take that to our context, that technology can really enhance and transform the education system. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look. There are two images of traditional versus a modern teacher. It doesn't matter. It could be an English teacher, a math teacher, it could also be a PE teacher. It really doesn't matter. As long as you are able to see the stark contrast between the traditional teacher who is not able to use technology, or who is unaware, who could be, a technophobe, who is afraid of using technology, or who is, unwilling to, incorporate technology into his classes. And on the other side, we can see a teacher who is, comfortably navigating his class through an interactive smartboard at the comfort of his, at the touch of his laser pointer, like the one I'm using here. I'm gently and user-friendly navigating my slides, all by just pressing the button of the laser pointer, which is what we have to do. We have to make the best of what technology can offer us in our modern world. And speaking of the future, benefits of technology, we have already witnessed how the VR, virtual reality, was integrated into teaching English. And I remember this year I was attending an Oxford conference where there was a presenter who provided some stunning insights into the use of VR in teaching English classes. And students wore this VR headset, and they were, moving around at any location they could possibly think of, and they could see things, they could touch, they could interact, they could simulate the real life situations by just wearing their VR headset, which is just amazing. This is just one of, I'm just scratching the surface of what technology can do to enhance and completely transform education system and teaching in particular. And on your right, you can see AR, which is another form of technology, augmented reality. I remember I took my group of students on a outdoor lesson to the State Museum in the capital of my country, where they saw a 14th century conqueror galloping on a horse and saying, "Hey people, I am the great conqueror from the 14th century." And he was speaking English. My students were stunned. They would never expect a character from the past, a character who they read so many times on history annals, would come live through augmented reality. It was, just fabulous. So technology can do great things to transform the education system. I'll leave you with this fantastic quote. technology won't replace teachers, but teachers who use technology will probably replace teachers who do not. I hope you were able to get the bottom line, my insight of what technology can do to enhance and transform our teaching and education system at large. Ladies and gentlemen, I had only 10 minutes. I think I am sharp on time. These are my contacts, professional contacts. Feel free to reach out to me if you do have any questions or you want to collaborate with me, on a professional level. I'm always open for any kind of collaboration. I'll take a moment to thank Education India and Educacia World for providing me this excellent opportunity to feature again on International Education Talk Season 5. I was here in Season 4 with blended education, but now I'm here again with slightly different topic. And I hope I'll be back in Season 6. Thank you very much to the organizers, founders, moderators, and all those people who are listening to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I mean, I really liked the last slide, which you said that technology is not the be all and end all of everything. It won't replace teachers, but teachers who use technology will probably replace teachers who do not. Because we have to remember the dynamics of education have changed. We can no longer have the chalk and talk method. We have to rely on technology, which is so different. I remember a beautiful thing which I found. IIT students of New Delhi during the COVID times wanted to leave a legacy behind. So what they did was, through augmented reality, they created that each child could go through their classrooms, could go to their hostel room, could view it just as if they were there. And that was the first time I saw it. And I was so fascinated. I mean, I actually wore that and I walked with them in the class. And they were eating together, talking about teachers. So this is something, and we have to live with that now, because every day is a new learning experience. So thank you so much, sir, for pointing out these facts to us. We'd now like to thank you from Educacia World for your beautiful presentation. And we also have a certificate of recognition for your beautiful talk on how the perception of education has changed with times. And we have to gel with times. Thank you so much, sir. It's been a pleasure listening to you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
For the next part of our program, we now have a presentation and talk by international speaker, Professor Faisal Fayaz of Neuron Technology, Lahore, Pakistan, who's going to talk us about importance of blended learning. He is a personality with a great many rewards under his rewards and has been a speaker for a very long time. He's the ISEF Symposium presenter of 2022, former project manager and lecturer of Punjab University, Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert. He's also a Cambridge Certified Computer Science teacher, Microsoft Innovative Educator, CEO of Neuron Technologies, founder and president of Sports Promotion Society International, International Gymnast of Pakistan, Pakistan Gymnastics Federation, International Advisory Board member of International Association of Physical Education and Sports Science, Golden Ambassador, editorial board member of International Journal of Innovative and Technology Education, Ambassador of Young World Society International, worldwide voice of International Organization of Educational Research, International Federation of Physical Education, Sports Science, and many, many more. We warmly welcome you, sir. And what I find very interesting in your biodata is the fact that sports plays a very important part of your whole repertoire, because today what is lacking is the understanding of sports and the importance of sports in many countries. So thank you, sir, for being part of it, and we'd now like to listen to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are, sir.
Thank you very much for a wonderful introduction. I'm really grateful to all of you that you provide me the opportunity to be present here. I'm going to share my screen. My screen is visible, I think. Okay, I'm going to start. Importance of blended learning is the topic of today. So I have already presented my research presentation on importance and diversity of STEM, and a lot of presentation and research article I have published. So today the topic of presentation according to blended learning, it's about this thing that how many kinds and what the diversified ways we find out to enhance the potential of our young learners. So what's the rational path we people find out to increase the learning of our young communities and young generation as well. So if we see what is blended learning, so blended learning is combining multiple learning components and learning events to create a meaningful environment. So this is not a simple thing that you only follow the formal teaching method, the teacher is delivering the lecture and student is listening. It's all about to this thing that how you interact with other humans and what the ways you people use to give the environment, to give some circumstances to some tasks to your young generation so they are able to do something and try to complete their assignments, their final tasks. So if we see blended learning, it's hybrid as well. It can be synchronous, it can be asynchronous. So there are multiple types of models are also available. But the most important thing, the purpose of blended learning is only this, that if we have some problem, for example, if we just took the example of COVID-19, so we have seen that this is only the technology due to which reason we are able to communicate to everyone. We are able to share the insights, the lectures, assignments, and all other things to our young learners. So it means technology is playing a vital role nowadays, and everyone knows this thing. So it can be basically your, as we know very well, the quote is knowledge is power. So nowadays it means that if you use different diversified ways of methods, then it's more powerful tools that you have. So why blended learning? Increase flexibility in learning. So it means we have basically sensory approach. We humans are inquisitive nature, so always we try to learn something that we could not learn from class due to some formal method. But if we are available, we are walking, we are visiting some places, then we are able to learn something better as compared to classroom. So same like there is a need to use multi-sensory approach to learn, to feed something in the brain. And technology is doing such kind of thing, that technology is creating artificial environment, artificial circumstances, and it uses your multi-sensory approach of human so that everyone become interact and ready to basically coordinate with this rational application as well. If we talk about the pedagogical approaches, so all the digital apps, they are basically designed in such a way that the user or the student or the learner, they are able to basically completely follow on that thing, and in this way they are able to learn something while engaging this thing. So these are the four major points. Four C's: critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration. So we just took the example before computer science and before the technology era. So we know very well that communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking, they were available, but not at such ways that nowadays we are basically doing. I mean, every civilization having communication regional or within their boundary. So no one can go or communicate beyond the boundary, regional boundary or something else. So same like communication, collaboration, creativity is very in limited form. But when this world become the global village and internet become famous and everyone having the technology tool, so everyone nowadays is communicating. Yes, I'm audible.
Sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So it means that everyone is able to communicate, to share, to basically spread every kind of awareness and try to do complete any task. If we took the example in past civilization, so what the thing is this, that no one able to search or scroll out different things. So this one is the graphical representation is in front of you, that what are the basically education system was available in the history and what are nowadays. So if you choose if you just look at this thing, education framework 1.0 lecture and memorization, so only simple obsolete methods which are considered nowadays, they are being used at face-to-face classroom, not bad in native learning and native programming or something like. And on the other hand, if you see the education 2.0 internet enabled learning, so web 2.0, blogspot, office, so this is the era of 1985 to 1995, where the basically Microsoft is emerging and becoming the popular, and Microsoft is going to spread more advanced features. I know very well that the first operating system of the world, Windows 3.1, and the credit goes to create graphical user interface goes to Microsoft. And this is the main success of Microsoft, that they create the innovation. Reason the operating system, the first world operating system was built by IBM. But Microsoft enabled a simple thing for every human, which is graphical user interface. So in this way, everyone is able to work, to communicate. And nowadays, through this graphical user interface, we are doing a lot of billions tasks we are doing in our life. When we talk about education 3.0, knowledge producing education, rapid e-learning, drag and drop, rich content. So the content is available, you are just dragging and dropping. And in this way, you are compiling your report. Reason you have the free basically access to reach and talk to or communicate or collaborate to any expert in the world. Knowledge is content and information is available, and you are able to just make a rational report. So this one is again a basically advanced thing, and in this way gradually humans are improving themselves. Nowadays education 4.0, it's in front of us, innovative, producing education learners as connectors, creators, and constructors. So same like learner as teacher as well as reason diversified of network. We are basically teacher is just giving the task, and now people or learner basically in a different teams, they are able to communicate, collaborate, and create, or in this way they think something new. So innovation becomes so much high. Reason everyone having the freedom to create or to make a new thing. Whatever the content, whatever the things are available nowadays, every human, every young generation, they just embed a new feature, and in this way they create any new innovation in the world, and they can introduce in the world, which is not possible in the past. And it is only due to technology we see. And again, more important thing, that it's all due to blended learning. When we talk about diversified team, so it means different nature of humans, different mindset of learners, they are ready to communicate to each other. And in this way, they create, or their outcome will be more rational as compared to homogeneous team. So this one is the most important thing, that blended learning is basically enhance and giving more outcome and making them the best 21st century problem solver for future skills. So this is again another picture, and you are looking that teacher is teaching, and the other one is presentation is there, and looking education 3.0, project-based learning, and education 4.0, that while talking, while working, while just doing any task, you are multitasking, you are doing a multitask. Every human is busy, but again, the task, the completion of tasks is in their process, and human is thinking, and in this way their thinking process become more stable and more gradually it's going up. So now concept become changed due to this blended learning. As we are looking here, teacher-centered instruction, it becomes student-centered instruction, single sense stimulation. It was the formal teaching method, but due to blended learning, multi-sensory stimulation is there, that with different diversified method, we are engaging our student in such a way that they are becoming the best learner as well as, and they are able to create something new, which was not available in the world, but now they are doing. If we see Google app, multiple apps are available, and we can use randomly, we can choose any app while just checking their ranking, while they're checking their digital ranking, that where they stand and which app is good and which is bad. So it's a multi-sensory that we are considering all the basically parameters, and in this way we are judging. So in past, single pass progression was there, but now multi-path progression is there. people, if we just look at this thing, we are not giving a simple teaching or the content we are giving. We are also providing them environment. We are giving them tasks that how to complete your work, your task, your challenge, and with different things, not only book, copy, and the lecture, with quizzes, with assignment, with synchronous activities, with asynchronous activities, with collaboration, with critical thinking activities. And in this way, our learner becomes the best problem solver of 21st century skills. And this is the only thing. If we just look at the past, single media, and now multimedia, we are using mobile, digital apps, Google, different blogs, each and everything is available nowadays. And there is only need to compile and get the rational feedback, rational outcome, rational content. These are the most important thing. And you can judge you if you have the basically concept, you have the information. If you have a good reader or learner, then you can get 100% optimal outcome you can create, and you can judge as well. But again, there is a need. So if we just look at, there are two kinds of students or learners are there, extrovert and introvert. So in past, extrovert basically becomes so much popular, but now due to this blended learning, our introvert basically their ratio of success is more better than earlier. Reason, now introvert, they are engaging themselves while solving different problems, while multi-sensory stimulation, while doing different tasks, while searching education framework 4.0 they are following. And in this way, they are uplifting their confidence and their basically instinct as well. Then in past, isolated work, a single if person having a task, so he is working and the content and the book is the only way. But nowadays, collaborative work is here. So everyone is able to communicate, share, and in this way, they are getting different outcomes. And again, blended learning giving them a new basically insight in their mind, and they can become more better than earlier. Delivery information, but now it become an information exchange. Nowadays, different authors, different speakers, they are spreading their awareness, their insight, and now it depends on learner that what they perceive. So information is being exchanged in this world nowadays. It's become open. You can criticism on every PM of the country. You can check their ranking. You can do anything. Reason, global world, it believe on this thing that every region and every citizen having a same equal rights. So they basically provide the this spirit that they can speak, they can do something. No one is able to snub to everyone in this world nowadays. So Bloom's taxonomy is here. While if you just look at the blended learning feature, so this one is the most important thing. That in the past, Bloom's taxonomy, the evaluation was the highest ranking. But nowadays, the higher you go up the triangle, the higher your level of thinking. So Bloom's taxonomy has been revised, and you can see the creation. And creation is only due to blended learning. Reason, we are using multitasking learning, and we are using multi-framework method. And our different apps and software, they are providing different incentive and rational approaches to our learners, that they are becoming more smart and becoming the best problem solver as well. So why flexibility in learning? With the increasing use of a variety of approaches for learning in the information age, learners' preferences are changing from wanting to be taught mostly in lectures or direct training session to wanting increased flexibility. So blended learning having the feature of flexibility mean if any learner was skipped some lessons, so with the blended learning methods, they can use different content and the environment they can choose to absorb different kinds of learning. So flexibility is there, and it means that we are increasing the learning graph of our young learners through this blended learning. We are speeding up their method, speeding up their basically capacity as well through this blended learning. Reason, when our learner use different kinds of blended learning models and methods, then they have different kinds of variety of methods. So in this way, they do not become bored as well as they do not exhaust as well. Reason, change is the most important thing. Here I want to quote one thing more, that Steve Jobs says that if you want to design, or if design is not something like this that's working, in fact it is that how it works. And Einstein quote one thing more here, that I'm not smart reason, but I basically keep myself busy in different complex tasks so that I am smart. So this one is the most important thing. If you engage our self in different complex activities with different variety of learning tools, then obviously your outcome will be so much rational, and it will be good for our young learners as well. So why flexibility in learning? You are looking here. Today, learners want to have more say in what they learn, when they learn, where they learn, and how they learn. If we just look at the past, so you can only learn something through your books and from the schools. But nowadays, while traveling, while going to stadium, while communicating, you are trying to learn something, as well as you are trying to complete your tasks as well through this blended learning philosophy as well. So blended learning philosophy is this, that different ways are there to learn something. And the main purpose of blended learning is only this, to enhance the learning feature, learning in young learners. So what is blended learning? An example. So you are looking here, that here different things are there and they all basically being mixed in a blender. So it provides individuals with the opportunity to enjoy the best of both worlds, digital and physical world as well. For example, a student might attend classes in a real world classroom setting and then supplement the lesson plan by completing online multimedia coursework. So already I have discussed this thing, that our learner can use multiple ways to enhance their missing work as well. And in this way, they can create and they can learn more better than other one as well. So in this way, you can speed up and you can manage your pace of learning as well. So blended learning nowadays, it is the requirement of future. If you want to make your young learners a best, so there is a need to provide them the environment of blended learning as well. Can we provide the kind of learning flexibility that learners want? Sure, we can, but it depends on how much flexibility you want to give. New development in learning, science, and technology provide opportunities to develop learning environments that suit students' needs and interests by offering them the choice of increased flexibility. So there are some students who do not like to attend regular classes, so they can use quizzes and online. They like to spend more time on computer and while surfing on internet. So in this way, they can enhance their learning as well. So it means introvert and extrovert both depend on basically their learning through, and they can enhance their learning through blended learning. I think my time is going to over and already crossed. So may I stop or may I continue?
Start. Just give us the last lines.
Okay. So how do we basically flexibility that learner was? No one single learning delivery method is capable of supporting the kind of flexibility that learners need. Therefore, a mix of traditional and new learning approaches and technologies should be appropriately utilized for flexible learning. So this is the main theme of the importance of blended learning. If you give them the best, if you give them a variety of different learning tools, then they can learn better as compared to the earlier. And again, we cannot replace teachers, but technology can also not replace teachers. But with the help of technology, teachers and learner both can do some rational work. Rational outcome will be there, rational learning, rational teaching, rational philosophy, rational sharing, rational collaboration as well. We are working and we are collaborating with each other through this digital framework, through this digital technology at this time, and it's become only possible due to blended method, blended technology as well. Reason, gradually human improve themselves, and change is the basically most important thing for human. If we do not provide the change to our young learners, then obviously we have short-term memory humans, so they cannot continue do a single task at a longer time. So if we provide them a variety of tasks in different chunks, then they can engage themselves in by intentionally, and they can basically improve themselves as well. Thank you very much. I'm going to our reason slide is presentation is long, so I'm stopping here. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. It was I know blended learning is something which we would all like to know a lot about, because what you talked about in your lecture, when you talked about student-centered instruction, multi-sensory stimulation, multi-growth progression, collaborative work, etc. What it leaves us with the thought that without that today we cannot exist. We have to understand that today it's no longer just teaching, it's information exchange, as you rightly pointed out. And for that, we have to understand that teachers are important, but we, as with the other speakers, we have to change with the changing times. And collaboration is the key to education. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
And sir,
I'm
you
really
come.
sorry that presentation become longer. Sorry for that.
It's all right, sir. Sir, and the fact, like, sir, you come from Lahore, and my grandfather used to teach in Lahore University.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you so much, sir, for your beautiful talk. And this is a certificate of recognition from Education World for your phenomenal and worthy presentation on the topic. Thank you so much, sir. As the next part of our program, we would like to welcome another international speaker, Priya Lokeris, Academic Coordinator, Mascot Public School, Sagar, whose topic is importance of education. Whatever interaction I've had with ma'am, she's a very straightforward person who presents her thoughts in a very clear manner. This gives us, you exactly know what she's talking about. And she's been a coordinator. She has a huge experience in teaching, has been an award winner for Leadership Education Award by Education India, Dr. Abdul Kalam Award by SD Educare, Bharati Shiksha Ratan Award for Best Teacher at GTEF, Best Coordinator Award by R.K. Das Speaker Forum, Brand New Certification by CED Foundation, the Global Role of Women Award 2022 by R.K. Das Forum, the Pinnacle Award for Coordinator by Ed India, the Educational Award and Sarvottam Bharati Shiksha Padak by Education India, and many more certifications as a speaker by R.K. Das Forum. We welcome you, ma'am, on this forum to talk about your topic. And I know very well that it's going to be an interesting one because of your great knowledge on the topic. Thank you so much, ma'am, and we welcome you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, ma'am, for your such wonderful words. And today's my topic is importance of education. So education does not change the world, actually. Education changes the people, and people change the world. So actually, education is not received, it is achieved. And it is the foundation upon which we build our future. And the goal of education, that is the advancement of knowledge and the dissemination of truth, where we're taking the knowledge, where we're gaining the knowledge, and through this, the knowledge, we are proceeding forward. As it is the most important thing in our life, and it is for all human beings, because it is the wonderful presentation of all the thoughts. And also life become very meaningful and prosperous. And due to this prosperity, we going ahead. And therefore, we could say about this is the foundation of human development. When we talk about the children here, when they are spending 8 to 10 hours in school and learning the new things, might mentally exhausting, but it is very important for the children because education is the most important thing they need to focus on. And education, as it is an important, and it is the key to success to go ahead for the future. It develops your future, it builds your the future, and it gives you a better development and better thoughts with the better capacity, you could say that. So education has many advantages for the people. For instance, it illuminates the mind. It ignites you the minds. And by this illumination and ignition, you're the thought-provoking capacity that's imagine you and prospers you. And I could thank for this. This is the importance here for the education, as it is an important and it becomes issues in the one's life, as it is the key to success also for the future. But when we see about this, the education as it is thinking and provoking the mind, it prepares the students for planning, for pursuing, and the students are taking this graduation and post-graduation. Even some students are going abroad for taking proper education, rather the development and developmental education, we could say. And it is for the better employment, for better satisfaction to go ahead and lead the luxurious life. And this in education, it develops the human personality. When it becomes developed, the thoughts and the social skills, it becomes developed. And it prepares the people for life experience. As education is totally life itself, it gives you the life experiences. It makes the people having a special status in their own society and everywhere they live. So I believe that everyone is entitled for the education that is from cradle to grave. And it is very fact also. Those who are pursuing this, those who are doing the hard work, that the mental status leading and develops. So there are various benefits of having this the education, such as having a good career, having a good status and in the society, and the self-confidence. The self-confidence is being developed and built by this the education. And nowadays, when we talk about blended learning, so here the education has transcended the traditional and this the orthodox methods of teaching. Now gone are the days and the times when we are imparting this the knowledge through this technology, and that is, we are thinking that is the dream only. So it is not like this now. Mostly things are related and globally it is being changed. And nowadays, as the Google, it is being there, it is being providing everything. Now it's on us that how, and on the teacher it is how to give the guidance to the students so that they lead forward, they could take the step towards for their the success towards the future. So it is very well known that having self-confidence, as we are gaining from this the education generated from education, it is a great blessing that we are gaining this the self-confidence as from the education and gaining the success in life. So it helps us to manage and pursuing that, taking the life tickles and the challenges in lives, and also maintain the positive strength. So it is very important. When we are positive, then only we can build the other positive. When the mind is clear, clarity in mind is there, then only we can give it to others and they can learn from us how to be positive and how to be controlled. And this comes from education. So this is very important in education. So additionally, when we talk about self-confidence that is typically based on proper education, paving the path for the success. So in short, being educated is undoubtedly being self-confident and successful in life. So all in all, when we talk, education is the process of acquiring knowledge and information that leads to successful future. And education makes a view that obstacles versus the challenges and to overcome with no fear, facing the new things. And that sees that how we had attended our education and how we are in the depth and serious for this the education. And the main factor behind successful people, when we talk about the successful people, the merit of developed countries, even it is the education only. And therefore, education is deemed a real success behind any future success. So one thought, it is being there by Albert Einstein, that education is not the learning of the facts, but the training of the mind to think. So it is very true, because when we train our mind, then only we can develop the mind and also to others. And it depends on the teacher, how he or she is training the child so that he could take the step ahead positively only and to help others with valuing that all moral values regarding towards the education. So education is not filling a pile, but the lighting of a fire. So it is igniting and lighting the fire. It is by William Butler Yeats, and it is very true that it lights other mind, it illuminates as well as ignites other mind. Thank you. Thank you, Education World and at India. And thank you, Ms. Fareen, and to Ms. Shelly, ma'am. Always very positive. And thank you, ma'am. It's
Thank
from
you
my
so
part.
much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, what I found very beautiful when you were talking about education was education changes people and people change the world. How beautiful and profound, because what empowers us is knowledge. But what you pointed out very rightly was that when you talk about knowledge, we have so much of knowledge available on the Google. It is how well we use it and how much we use is very important. And there lies the role of the teacher and the student together, because you can't use all knowledge. It is too much. And we need to blend that knowledge and that to build that self-confidence. And the best part of education is when you're talking of problems and challenges, you can actually finish off these challenges when you have a positive attitude towards learning. Thank you so much, ma'am, for these beautiful words. And we would now like to have a certificate of
Thank you, ma'am.
appreciation for from Education World. Thank you so much for your phenomenal and worthy presentation on the importance of value in education. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was beautiful
Thank you, ma'am.
listening to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
And
तो आप ही का baby है।
thank you so much. And now the next part of our program is a speech by the guest of honor, Ambassador Smiley Mukta Ghoshal. Her topic is the goodwill message from a global icon. Now, Ambassador Smiley Mukta Ghoshal, ma'am, is a global star and a global icon. She is a sustainable ambassador, a green queen, a multi-award winner, a world record holder, World Book of Record London, State Book of Approval, SBAR, Influencer Book of World Record. Her watchword basically is be inspired to inspire others. How beautiful it is. A world record holder of Women of Substance and Unstoppable. Ambassador Smiley Mukta ma'am is a well-known influencer, and she has also been awarded with many global awards like the Global Green Initiative Leader, Positive Role Model Award, the Global Super Mom. That is a very, very beautiful role, ma'am. The Mother of Environments, the Golden Legend Award, UNGO ONGO Award, Certificate of Appreciation from the Kingdom of Central Region of Ghana. She's also been a Peace and Humanity Ambassador. She's one of the top 100 women inspirational women and a top women entrepreneur. She's also a great achiever when it comes to humanitarian work and global peace. She's a certified trainer and coach, and she's also a Smiley ma'am is also the advisory board Asian African Chamber of Commerce. She's been recently appointed there, and the industry and president of the Rotaract Philanthropic Entrepreneur Asia. She's also considered as one of the greatest speakers talking about a wide range of topics dealing with humanity, environment, etc. She's also passionate about healthcare and natural beauty, and she has got a green beauty line called Natural Beauty, which is a brand that customized skin and hair products. She's a self-driven, ambitious, go-getting, keen-spirited, lively, and enterprising lady. Ambassador Smiley ma'am stands to inspire all and rise and shine through her inspirational journey. She's also got a lot of projects in her kitty, like the Global Green Revolution campaign, Mr. and Miss Real Asia Africa pageant 2022, the Green Revolution Beauty contest, very importantly, the water cycling to finish, the environmental safety awareness and climate change. She's always talked about how times can change, and Ambassador ma'am has also talked about Green Revolution campaign, and it's a very worthy cause to support. This is a global call for action, because she believes that her mission is to contribute to the world, to serve the environment and community. She believes that goals have to be achieved, and for achieving these goals, one has to go through a very long process of hard work. And what she Her core area of expertise lies in consulting, mentoring, coaching, branding, influencing, promotion, and she lies connected through social media pages. So we give you a very warm welcome, Ambassador Smiley Mukta ma'am, and we'd love to hear you talk on your topic and your goodwill message from you being a global icon. Warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Well, thank you very much for this, beautiful, introduction, because you know what I believe? I love this Education World platform. You are doing amazing job. So my big round of applause to all of you for doing this amazing event. And I firmly believe that there is nothing better than, wholeheartedly when you fall in love with any platform, things move with a swift flow. So that being said, thank you very much to all the listeners and the viewers over here. It's my early start, 7 a.m. in the morning. So yes, I always believe, again, as I say, that the day starts with a sunshine, and that shine can come from any platform. Yes, I believe we all talk about education. For me, let me put a little, message, my visionary thoughts about what I would love to bring on the table here today. That education is surely a lifeline and building young stars. And through an education, we open the window of building leaders who are our young mastermind and who are our future nation builders as well. So, and who will be shining in the world following our path. Now, when we talk about that, in order to be an educator, I personally believe that let's educate ourselves. Let's fall into the role model to be a change maker, to educate. As I said, my watchwords are be inspired to inspire others and be empowered to empower others. Education doesn't mean in a closed room, in the classroom, or with the textbooks. I personally again believe that no matter who we are, where we are born, and how the situation is, we never come into the world with a manual. As we grow in life, our entire world, environment, circumstances, situation turns out to be a textbook. And that is a way, I love to put it that way, that we should learn from the situation in the environment in and around us. And that is the way I follow, and I have been following, that you can learn so much round in and around you. You don't need a form. Yes, I'm not saying that, textbooks, teachers and the education is not important. They are the base. They are the limelight. They are the base to make a foundation as we grow. But our main 50%, if you see, that is in and around us. I am a person, I believe in the core values, and I teach what I practice. And hence, I follow my core values. Believe me, today where I am, I think I have turned the entire in and around me as a textbook. And I still keep on learning. I still keep on learning from every person, every individual, because that makes me a strong edge leader, right? To bring things on the table, because I stand as a role model. I stand as a change maker, because we are the builders to limelight our young masterminds who are the agent of our future nation. For me, there are two basic fundamentals of education. One is respect human being, and another is respect nature. If we start doing that, it is a complete blend of a healthy lifestyle and a future. Yes, I may be as a transformational speaker and a coach on wellness, but at the same time, I believe in every aspect of turning the world, turning people on the mass scale of education. Education doesn't mean, again, just reading and understanding, but it needs an overall aspect of making anyone standing with the limelight of confidence, which is a deep dive, important aspect of being an leader to turn up, our young masterminds to be a nature and a nation builder. So, and also I would like to say, as a pageant ambassador, my purpose is empowering the young, of course, the young contestants, to make them stand confident. And my future topics are coming as a pageant on a big pageant where I am through this, pageantry training, I'm able to empower them, to bring them on the limelight, to stand confident the way they love to stand in the future, to be a leader, to lead and to leave and exit in legacy, which is my mission and vision. Last but not the least, again, I say I personally believe that we all are unique and we all are uniquely talented. So let's put our unique talent together. Unitedly, we can make anything incredibly happen to make a better future, standing ourselves as a pathfinder, edu-leaders, positive change maker, and be a role model to your environment, to your near and dear ones who are maybe just sitting next to you. You needn't be in a classroom. You can be an edu-leader in every aspect of life. If we see that, we change the world, because the world doesn't need us. We need the world to survive. So let's put our hands together and make a beautiful, beautiful, peaceful world unitedly, staying happy and being close to each other, respecting each other, respect human being and nature. I'm a person, I can keep going on and on and on, but I know time is a limit. I have to wrap up with my gratitude again to Education World and to the platform. I always love to be here, and you will always have me counting in, though I'm always coming at last, but again, last but not the least. I always love to ignite the platform with my goodwill message. Let's live happy, stay happy, be happy, and bring the world of confidence and beautiful for everyone to live. Thank you. Thank you once again. Much love and gratitude all the way from Ambassador Smiley, early morning, 7:30.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your beautiful words. And no doubt, ma'am, no doubt you're an ambassador, as a matter of fact, a goodwill ambassador for education and a global icon. Your talk was beautiful, Ambassador, ma'am. And what I found very beautiful in what you said was, first, the two things you said was, be empowered to empower others, be inspired to inspire others. But what left an imprint on my mind was, you did not, you spoke so beautifully about a teacher, that teachers are the foundation, but you need to work with them and learn from the environment, because unless and until you learn from real life situations, you can't bring a positive change in the world. And that's what is very, very important in what you talked about. As you talked about a complete learning to get beyond the textbooks, to speak about life in a broader term. And what inspired us is working together with the teacher, with the student, with the people around you to bring about this change. And this is what is going to, and what is most heartening to listen to is you practice what you preach. Because one thing I've learned from, when my husband was saying, he's an IPS officer, and he said to me that unless I show them that I can do it, the people below me will never say that they can do it too. And that's what you just said, that you practice what you preach. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your beautiful words. And we would now like to have a certificate of appreciation for Ambassador Smiley Mukta ma'am for her beautiful motivational speech and the talk she gave about blending every part of our education to bring a complete whole. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Now, I would just like to give, okay, this, I think, ma'am, okay. Thank you so much. And
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. This certificate of recognition, I would like to present to Dr. Shaili Malik for this volunteering time and the phenomenal worthy. Your presentation for this international education talk, you so beautifully handled it from the starting till the end. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Fareen, for those beautiful words. I am honored to be part of this association. And what I've taken back, it's not exactly what I would call a word of thanks. I would like to say that I have learned so much from each and every person who spoke today, starting from Evangelia ma'am to Agurov sir, to Faisal sir, to Priya ma'am, to Ambassador Smiley Mukta ma'am. Each one of us has given me, food for thought. What I'm going to take back today is, how would I change my learning? I know I love to use computers, but when I talk of computers, when I talk about blended learning today, students know much more than us. But I'm ready to be a student with them. I recently started, I wanted to learn how to, I saw a beautiful presentation in which the speaker of the presenter was walking in the PPT and pointing out facts. And that is so fascinating for me. And I asked my son, and his expression was, oh, that is very easy. But it took me time to learn. So we have to learn, we have to unlearn so many facts today. We have to learn to unlearn. And we cannot go back to the same learning, because as each one of you pointed out, today times have changed. We have to accept the old and the new and bring a balance of both, because both are important. So a beautiful thank you from my side for each of those speakers who have given me such beautiful thoughts to think about. And I hope all of us take back and learn from their speaking, because they have a huge amount of experience and they have learned through hard work. Thank you so much. And thank you to Education World for this beautiful seminar in which we learned so much. So thank you so much, and namaskar from my side. Thank you, everyone.